to the bumper breakfast. Interesting times we are here in Lagos as Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu signed the anti-open grazing bill into law yesterday. It was an interesting ceremony. One of the governors, of course, the law was enacted last week. I know last week it was completely prepared by the House of Assembly here in Lagos, but the governor finally signed it into law yesterday. And some of the highlights of that bill: 21 years imprisonment for any header found with a gun here in Lagos. 21 years imprisonment for them. But however, the question has always been, fantastic idea, fantastic law. Do we have the wherewithal to carry this out? To actually do the right thing? Enforce this our law? Do we have? Do you think the police will arrest this man?
The problem here, number one, we have a culture of serving rules more in default than in obedience. I would rather rise away a public campaign announcing the ban on open grazing.
Okay.
In Hausa, Fulani, and other languages, that people, because Lagos is by nature a microcosm of everyone in Nigeria.
Yes.
So that people will know that this thing has been banned. And as they say in law, that ignorance is no excuse.
Yes.
But then, let government start a campaign now to let people know that it's been banned.
And by government, you mean
and
government
so,
like Lagos State government?
The announcement will be promoting and encouraging compliance. Maybe after 6 months, if they've not seen meaningful compliance, we cannot begin to talk of enforcement.
But the law must exist. Do you share that position?
And what's your take?
You see, law is not a problem in this part of the world. Sometimes when our leaders try to enact new laws, and some of us, we take our time to check the old laws we have. We discover most times that the law they are enacting actually
exists
already.
Yes. It's not
already.
Anything.
You know, maybe what they had, what was needed at that time was to just what's the word now? To amend or upgrade the laws and all that. But no, that's not what we have. We will always make new laws now. The problem we always have in this part of the world is enforcement. The truth is, yes, I agree with Are on the sanitization, on the, informing people, let them know that, okay, there's the law against this. Please, don't and don't and don't. Let them know the
educating
don't
the
and
people
don't of this. Let the people, so that you will not say the law doesn't exist. A lot of people don't even know that some law exists till when they get to court and the other lawyer, they are quoting this and they are quoting that. In fact, even the judge, sometimes, their eyes are open to, so, oh, wow, this is actually there. And they said their hands are tied because there's nothing they can do. The law is clear on this. So let people know. Now, when we talk about enforcement, this part of the world, I'm just going to give you 2 funny examples. This is not a law. This is a directive from an AIG of a particular zone. Don't let me mention the zone. Nobody told me I was there. Now, what was the instructions of the AIG was, please, probably a number of things happened in the zone, and he said, no, he doesn't want people to come to the zone and be selling the hawk and sell things inside the zone.
That was the zonal office now.
The zonal office. Okay. That was the directive.
Okay.
So, the police at the gate stops everyone from coming. There's a particular suya guy. I was there that day. All those ones that sell suya in the wrapping paper that they put on their head. Yes. He came to sell suya. And the police at the gate stopped him. You cannot go in. What did he do? He didn't argue with them. He stepped back. He brought out his small phone and he called the AIG. AIG came out from his office to that security place to tell the police that no, I'm not talking about people like this. Let him go in, let him go in. Yes. So the man went in to sell suya to the people. Very well.
No, the AIG came down.
Came out from his office to the security post to tell them, no, it's not people like him.
That they
Let
should
him go.
allow
Allowed
the
him.
man into the police zone headquarters.
I have seen one Okada rider that his Okada was,
Impounded.
taken from him, impounded at close to Illicit there. He didn't argue with them. He just went back and he picked up his phone and he called. And then the police was even saying he's not talking to anybody. I mean, the people that impounded he now spoke outside. I think there was another policeman that had what he said. That must be. Oh yeah. The next thing was yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. The guy took his bike and he left.
That's a no story.
So you're
The one that happened to me last week Wednesday. I was a guest on Eko FM. It had a program called Leadership yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So it's ran between 8 and 9 p.m. When we finished, I didn't see the guy, my driver, the guy who took me there. And I was like, let me go home, Joe. As I was walking out, I saw a car, an unpainted, a private car.
yes.
Now, this is, I done everything.
Yeah.
The park, and I saw a policeman inside. I mean, a policeman inside, another policeman
Standing
inside
outside.
another vehicle. And I said, gentlemen, may I know what happened? It's getting late. Neither you nor these guys are safe, staying late.
Yeah.
The man said, don't ask me, don't ask the driver. And ask the driver, what happened? The man said he closed for work. Showed me his ID card. That normally when he gets to LTV, opposite Kwakula, there's a bus stop there. He picks people going to Ogba.
Yeah.
And that was what he was doing when this guy came and said he was parking on obstruction. Okay. And I said, look, in my little wisdom, which is easier or better, to ask him to move his vehicle, Abi, and go away.
Yeah.
Or I'm arresting him. Anyway, so are you from Ala police station? They said no. If they had said Ala police station, I would have called the DPO. I have the DPO's number. But they said they're from governor's office, that they're governor's monitoring team. Okay, no wahala. Me, I was sure that Sanwo-Olu will not be on seat at that time. And if he was on seat, he didn't send policemen to go and be picking vehicles bad in obstruction. Can we go to your office? And then we were taken to the RRS office. Before we got there, I made my contact. By the time we entered the place, the story changed. They said the man was abusing them. He was just like, since when has it become a crime?
So for people to abuse
people?
Yeah, it is a crime.
The
Police.
and they were now eulogizing me that they will have allowed the man to go. I mean, in difference to me, but because of the handling, you guys are not serious. You are the ones giving the police bad image. Nobody sent you on that. Your location.
A lot of work.
Your location is
a lot.
after Kadri.
Have you?
Okay, opposite Adams Market. That's their location. No.
I encountered some.
I'm not against.
one
Listen,
day,
I'm
and
not
they
against.
told me they saw my sticker on the car, and they're like, "Ah, auntie, we are from Ikeja too," and I'm like, "Eh, you are from Ikeja? What are you doing in Ejigbo?"
Oh. In where? In
Ejigbo. I
They
had to
do
ask them.
also
I said, "Excuse me, you are from Ikeja?" They said, "Auntie, we are from Ikeja." I said,
when
"What
I
are you doing in
pulled
Ejigbo?" They said, "We are just on assignment." You
When
see
I
the assignment? The assignment is they will stop you, auntie. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? Anything for the boys?
That's why
when I pulled the card and I told them, you have no jurisdiction here. They knew this man knew what he was saying. But they still were bent on making that man their mate. And I was determined that if I would sleep outside my house that day, so be it. Why did I have to say this? A lot of the time, the people who are supposed to enforce the laws, they themselves are lawbreakers. And
they drive on one way. They drive on BRT.
They're very good at that.
You see, they commit all man, and it pains because I have enjoyed the best of policemen in this country. I have related with policemen in a way that when Funke Olubajo late now was DPO of a police station, we went there on a visit with an NGO. I was a volunteer for the NGO. And then we got to their cell. We met only one man in the cell. And I was like, why? He said, they don't detain people here needlessly. If they say to detain you, as quickly as possible, if your case has to be transferred, you are gone. I now requested for a night out in that cell. He said I should write the IG. Why? It was clean, it was tidy. And so police station was a model. It wasn't your regular police station. When you get there...
Have you been there in recent times?
Well, no. To your right...
I can take you there.
To your right, you see a lady, two policemen. Gentle as in gentle. They will talk to you
gentlemen of the police force.
If you have to write a statement, you write seated. And then
they are not smacking the back of the head.
Depending on what your case is, they direct you to the appropriate office or desk.
Let's go back to the conversation.
When we talk about police,
when we say we want to rework Nigeria, reworking Nigeria is not enough. Back to my theory, Nigeria should be reinvented. And in the movement of reinventing Nigeria, so many organizations have to be reinvented.
Well, I think talking about police, sorry, let me quickly say this, because like you said, also I've had dealings with policemen.
You're a lawyer. You're supposed
so
to be dealing with
and
them.
not even that, because I started my career with legal aid. You know, so I relate with police here and there. And what am I saying in essence? There are fantastic
police officer,
fine, wonderful police officer out there. You will not believe, because people have the notion that police generally they are no, they are fantastic. When you relate with police, you will see fantastic ones among them. So when you see the bad ones, when you see, no, even in your family, you have the black. What do you call
out
them?
Of every 12,
you will
there
have.
will always be a Judas Iscariot.
Yeah, you will have.
More than one.
So when you see them, you know, don't just generalize, because number of them, they are polite. Even when they are, talking to you, they are polite. When there are issues, they are polite. But number of them, once they wear that uniform, they believe they are God. After God, they are the next.
They want to be bigger than God. When you beg them in the name of God, they don't listen.
They don't, you know. In fact, the one that even baffles me sometimes, a policeman will even ask why you are looking at him the way you are looking at him, or abuse him. Why can you abuse a police officer? And I'm like, hello. When has it turned to a crime?
We are jailing people for abuse.
And you know what?
Don't forget that we just jailed somebody.
When you try to let them know,
even on social media,
you know
somebody can be jailed.
they will
Thank
say
you.
you are proving to
Thank you.
Thank
you. Yeah, we happen. Yeah.
I will shoot
the
you
last
now.
time it happened to me on Osogbo Bogon Road, I told the guy, I said, look, I am not a pastor. Babalawo Gogo from Abeokuta. Shoot me and see if he will leave. The story changed. Because he felt, oh, this is courage in action.
Yeah.
You know, but must he get to that? During COVID-19 lockdown, stop asking that question. You have national TV. During lockdown.
And why are you hiding your on national TV? You can tell us your faith now. You are Babalawo. You are Babalawo.
During the lockdown, I'm a herbal nutritionist.
But that will not work again when you see the police. So you just announce to them that you're not.
Now, the DPO, the lady that was here at Alausa here, she was on the road checking vehicles. And when I got to her, and I said I was going to LTV for a program, she was asking for my ID card. And I said, I'm a guest analyst. Somebody said, yes, I used to see this man on television. And that was wrong. She said, sir, you can go. That is courtesy. That is service. But not when you will say, until you provide LTV ID card.
For me, I don't really discuss my identity when I meet police or whatever. I don't know. Where I like to declare my identity. Well, thank you. When I meet at the police station, because most of them on the road don't know anything. So they will just.
They do.
Most of them don't.
They do.
They don't.
When you see a
They know
policeman,
their law through the
they,
reported
I'm
speech.
telling you, they speak. Some speak very clean, good English.
No, but that's not the
I
problem.
said
they
these
know their law
people
through
don't
reported
sir.
speech.
I was on the road at somewhere in Ijebu, Igbo, or somewhere around that houses. I didn't use my own car. It was a pool car that I used, so there was no sticker, nothing on it. I was sleeping. My driver was the one driving. So he just the next thing he tapped me. He said, "Mr. Inka, police stop. What happened?" And what happened? They had stopped him before he woke me up. They had asked for his papers. He has shown them all the papers, driver license. So what was the query? That how come you renew the vehicle license and you did not change the plate number? That was when we started using the new plate number. And when the National Assembly told the FRS to come, you are not to generate whatever, stop it, and all that stuff. They stopped, and that was the issue. So I know asked the police officer, sir, is it true? This is what he told. He said, yes, we did not. I said, there's nothing like that. I don't know where that. He said, that is the law. In fact, that is the law of the land. I said, which law? Sorry, who made the law? At that time, I had not even this. In fact, one fine man, one gentle professor, a retired professor, came out from the bush, and he came to me. He said, young man, I can see you are young. These people is just money. Just give them 100 naira. You know, I let them go. I said, sir, they stopped me. And they are asking for what does not exist. They don't even know what they are talking about. The man now said, no,
they're just looking for.
The man now said, no, they don't know. I will tell you what happened. The man now said, oh, no, yeah. I now whispered to the man my identity. The man just looked and said, good. I now told the police, sorry, can we go to your station?
Yes.
I said, yeah. The next thing they even told me to sit
at the
back. That they had to say, sit in front. I said, sorry, is it written anywhere that if you have to enter my, where is that? I said, if you want to go with this car, you will stay behind me. I'm not going to stay behind me. See, in fact, I should be the one to be afraid, to make sure that you sit in front, because you can be behind me and struggle me. I told him. I said, but I won't do that, but you will sit behind me. So one now entered, the other one took bike. We got to the station. Immediately we got to the station, I just told my driver, Mr. Kazim, lock the car. If you open that car and they drop anything in your car, you'll be in suit. Lock that car. Then I approached the whatever. The station guard. The station owner, and I thought, sorry, hello, good afternoon, I'm here to see the DPO. He said, from where? I said, from Lagos. I just said, from Lagos. So they thought, apparently, the DPOs around us were having meetings. So the person thought I came for the meeting.
Okay.
So I was allowed in. So when I got in, I saw them DPOs of different stations, whatever. And then what happened? So your men stopped me on the road, and this is what they said. My name is so person. This is what I do. No, I just said, this is what I do. Immediately I told them what happened. All of them started laughing, all the DPOs. And they said, who are they? Who are they? That's how they got all the officers. So now, to let you know that they don't know, they got into the office. And the DPO asked them, what happened? They said the same thing. The DPO now asked them, which law? They said, it's the law. The Senate just passed the law recently that they must renew whatever. The DPO, they started laughing again. They said, do you know who you stopped? They said, no, that man is a lawyer. He's a lawyer. I'm law enforcement agent. I mean, do you know that the DPO apologized? Yeah. Gave us money to fuel, because it was a distance, to fuel the car, apologize, and call one of the senior officers. No. Pick those ones, first go and keep them somewhere. Before, when they finish their meeting, then they will come back to them. Then why are you embarrassing us? The man was really, why do you people go out to embarrass us?
Apparently the police...
Who told you this? Who told you this? Where did you get that from? It's instructions.
Research conduct.
Do you see them enforcing this kind of law?
Will now create another multi-level, multifaceted, hydra-headed problem.
So let me just break it down a little bit so that people know. This anti-open grazing bill, you need to know for yourself whether you're an header or you're just a passerby. So any person found to be in possession of firearms while herding cattle commits an offense and is liable on conviction to 21 years in prison. Any person found to be in possession of a dangerous weapon or object with intent to wound or cause grievous bodily harm to another person while herding cattle commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a term of 14 years in prison. The law also provides the establishment of cattle pounds in strategic places in the state where impounded cattle will be until they were reclaimed by their owners or disposed of by the state through the Ministry of Agriculture. Section 7 of the bill provides for the establishment of task force on cattle trespass. Now, the task force shall put units located at every cattle pound established in the state. Officers of the Ministry of Agriculture and law enforcement agents in the state are to work together to enforce the provisions of this law. It's quite clear what the bill says. It's also quite clear that Lagos has, officers for different things. We're going to have anti-open grazing officers.
Maybe we have a task force.
Okay.
But then, when you have a task force, they must have a monitoring team.
Yes.
You know what I mean now?
Yeah.
That will superintend their performances.
Okay. To make sure that they don't misbehave.
Yes, it's important. Each time these things happen, they just give the police a bad name. They give the government a bad name. Nigerian police has, if you get to interact with them, a lot of them are graduates. Some have second degrees, some have PhDs. Intelligent family people, really God-fearing people. I have dealt with policemen, but those few elements are.
Unfortunately, there are 2 or 3 out of every 12.
Yeah, for me, I just feel on this one, open grazing, like we said, we've been saying this for forever. It's business. Just do your business. It's a private business.
Yes.
Do your business and obey the law of the state in which you are doing your business. The respective community you are doing your business. And also, I also pray that the government or the state or the governor is not just signing this into law. Also, that they will have the willpower to enforce any.
I still speak of enlightenment and
we have talked about that. Of course, of course.
We now embark on enforcement.
Yes, we have talked about that. Of course, they have to enlighten people. They have to make them know what is happening and the law of the land. Now things have changed. Then people now find culpable. You'll be able to know that somebody is calling from one place that is our people, or because of your own political gains
or
ambitions, then you can't do what you are supposed to do.
We need to obey the law. Are, how do you close this morning?
As always, if you are a parent,
now they are in school. The children are in school.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Some of us. Okay.
The unitary schools are on holidays.
Yes. Despite that, the fact that they are in school, when they come back from school, make out the time. My mother didn't go to school, but way back, she will open my bag. She knew the books she bought for me. She knew the biro, the pencil, and everything. If anything that she didn't give to me should be found in that bag.
Yes,
that would be the day. If it was soup, would have been better. Fire. So make sure you examine your children and the things they go around with.
And
if you find them with strange things that you didn't buy for them, ask questions. If it's necessary, go to the school and report them.
I'm a patriot. Appeal to all Nigerians. Let us be part of the movement. Let us make Nigeria great again. You and I can fix it. Don't stay back and watch some people mess this country up. We need to be involved together to fix Nigeria. Nigeria will be great again. I am very, very positive about that. Thank you.
I'll see you again tomorrow morning on the Bumper Breakfast. Many thanks to Olankola Daniels and, of course, Awola Dendario for joining us again this morning. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Go get vaccinated.